It is August 2nd. Let's do a full garden tour. We're going to tour the garden. It is August 2nd. So my label says Walla Walla, but clearly this is some kind of a red. I have done red ruby in the past, and I went back and looked at my log and I didn't do any red ruby, so there might have been a misseed in a Walla Walla packet that I purchased. The Anaheims are looking beautiful. They're healthy, but they're only just flowering. There is, some beginnings of very, very teeny tiny peppers. But if you remember last year on 2 plants in a very similar spot did 203 peppers for us. So we'll see what happens this year. Ooh, the top notch look like they're ready for another pick. We have had 2 really good picks off of this little patch here and enjoyed those. So I've started just another small little patch of 4 more of the wax beans. This is a variegated pepper. Never done it before. It's called mocha swirl. And it's not incredibly variegated, but as the summer goes on, it's getting more and more variegated. But it is just loaded with fruit. Look at those beautiful fruits down in there. Al, let me harvest one. Looks like it's ready. Ooh, cool. Something new to try. These are the amethyst beans, and they are just now starting to put on little flowers. Did these last year, and they were very much a little semi-runner, so I put them on a little fence so that they could climb. I've got a radish plant I let go to seed, and these are little gem lettuces that are going to seed here. My little patch of snapdragons is on a down cycle, but they've been so pretty, and these will be picked here in the next 2-3 days. These are the burlado beans. Just look at how beautiful they are, and their little pods they're ready, because this is the stage we like to get them at the full demisec stage. Back there, Al, have a picture of the chard that's gone to seed, and it just won't finish up. It has been going like almost the whole frickin' season. I've never saved it before, so I don't know how that works out. So these 2 little get out of there, weed. These 2 little baskets are doing really well, and I put the pineapple mint in here just because I thought it would be pretty. Oop, another weed. And it's worked out perfectly, and it's so easy to harvest it. No bending. Now along the backside of the burlado wall, we come to the Swiss chard, and we have had several picks off the Swiss chard. We just love our chard. As a matter of fact, it was one of the layers in a vegetable lasagna I made yesterday. So this is Dr. White Cheese Yellow. He's our hero. We love the Dr. White Cheese Yellow, and it pumps out a lot of tomatoes. We have a big one inside. It was a little bit over a pound. I'll put that on the screen now. And we've got one more coming there, and I've got a really big one that I'm hoping will be the biggest one for the tomato challenge over at Chad's channel, Down Home Backyard Gardening in Texas. These are the Badger Flame beets. These are lovely when you cut them open, and they're getting pretty close to being ready. And I have a little row of beets. This is the Napoli. I've not tried them before, so I am really really, oh yes, look at Al. We got to pick these. We got another batch of top knots ready, and it was just 3 days ago that we did the other ones. I just got them pickled and put up. I'll insert a picture of how I refrigerator pickled those. There's the Anaheims from the other side, and this is a giant cosmos that we had to put a stake in the ground to help hold up. So this center circle is got the cogonut squash. The butternut squash has failed, so I won't get any butternut squash this year. But these cogonuts are doing great, and I just planted what I hoped to be a bouquet, and slowly I've had to pull out a lot of flowers because it was just too crowded. There's that cogonut with the fly on it inside the bag. We have to bag them because otherwise the squirrels would eat them. They're naughty that way. I don't see anything but male flowers, so we've got the 3 in bags. I don't know if we'll get any more or not. There's still time, I hope we do. The dahlias, oh my goodness, the dahlias are doing beautifully. Just loving these. And I've got some other dahlias, the more like the bedding dahlias that are just budding up here, and a variety of other flowers, and these tall African marigolds. I've had to take a few out, there were too many, and some of the wildflowers that have already come and gone have left us, and I have a few cosmos here and there. This one's just coming up, a white one, got a pink one. So on the back kidney-shaped stone bed, we have the Corona de Toros, and they are just starting to turn. They are huge this year. We've never had them this huge. Look at that. That is enormous. We like them when they're fully red, but you can eat them before that. This is the yin-yang beans, the one that looks like a little yin-yang or orcas. The pods are all on here, but these will be dried. We are not going to eat them at the demi-sec stage. This is the red of Florence onion, and they have just begun to fall over, a couple of them. So those will be the next ones that get harvested. Basil, and now where all of the other yellow onions types came out, I'm just going to leave it rest for the moment. So this appears to be the larger end of the spectrum. This appears to be the average end of the spectrum. Both are great, and I'm pleased. You know, this spot is not the sunniest. The Pattersons were in the really sunny spot, and they got in earlier to the ground than these did. So, you know, I'm pleased. I may put another crop in, and I might not. There's a lemon verbena, and I have to get at and harvest some because we don't want it to flower. This will become more lettuce here shortly. The beets are doing great. I've got Chioggia and Detroit Red. Now I've pulled out the Mayan Jaguar that I let go to seed and the 2 types of cilantro, and I will be making a separate video about seed saving, so you'll see it there. And then I replanted all the same crops right back in here again. This was that little wildflower patch that was so beautiful. Well, it's pretty much going over now, but we've still got some things that are blooming and giving us a little joy. The snaps should come up. Let's see how much rain we actually had yesterday. Oh, a little bit over 1 inch. Cool. It's It's interesting that we've got multiple colors coming off the same plant. There's pink and purple coming off of this one, which is so interesting to me. But they're lovely. This is a bolero carrot, and I replanted the Mizuna mustard, but something's going at it with a vengeance. So I'm just going to consider that a trap crop at this point. Those are a little patch of golden beets. They are just delicious. And this is oregano, celery, and this is the one volunteer tomato we left. And we're pretty sure now that it's going to be a Tim's Taste of Paradise because of all these little trusses of tomatoes, but we don't know for sure yet. Another bit of borlato. And these again will be harvested in the next handful of days. This is the Cherokee Carbon. This was a huge producer last year, but I've trimmed it more than I normally do. Oh, there's one coming, changing color right down there. Delicious. Cherokee Purple was our favorite for years. Carbon's a good tomato. You mix the two, you get a much healthier plant and really good productivity. This is Black Crim, and I actually have one turning on this one also. Getting ready. Let's give it a squeeze. Yeah, not ready yet. Oh my goodness. I am so interested to taste that. So many people love that as their favorite. This is the Lillian's Yellow. Nothing is turning yet, but it is got some beautiful sized tomatoes. And this one is a potato leaf. Night Armor. We took one in for this one. It's ripening on the counter. And there's more that are just in there starting to turn. So we should have another nice crop. This is our Mr. Tartar's German. Kind of a huge sort of heart-shaped fruit. This is a pretty good size one coming. You just keep going, guy. You just keep going. This is Al's probably favorite, or, you know, of the reds for sure. And this is the Black Beauty. What a beautiful tomato. These little trusses of tomatoes, and then they turn. Look at this truss. This is amazing. I'm gonna get these top ones because they, oh, look at that. Look at that color. Wowzers. A red and purple. Blue Beauty. Blue Beauty is turning also. Haven't tasted it yet. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the diva. This one is a hydrangea called a tar diva. We just call her the diva. Ooh, busy with the bees. Busy, busy. I love it. It's such a carefree hydrangea. This is the Nona. The Nona comes from my diva friend, Diva in the Dirt. Another kind of diva, Maureen. This is her favorite of her paste type tomatoes for sauce. And this is Talvez. Just look at that. Look at that coloration. These two aren't quite ready. We tried one, but I think we were a little anxious and got it too early because, you know what? You just get anxious. It wasn't quite ripe. Taste was just and I think ripe it will be pretty darn good. So here's a view from the white fence back into the garden. You can see that I've got little bowls of water all over the place. It helped last year to discourage the squirrels from going for the tomatoes, and let's hope the same thing happens again this year. Let's step into the birdie's bed area and see what's growing. So these are the two storage type tomatoes, the one from Majorca and the one from Italy. That's the Principe Borghese, and this one is the Ramelette Saint Laurent. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Well, all the yellow ones have been put in the garage with a fan now because it was rainy, and this will be filled up with the reds shortly. Here's the garlic that was planted in the spring. Anybody have any experience with that? If I wanted to try to figure out how to hold it over and plant it for the fall, drop a comment below. I'd love to know. There's fennel. I only had one germinate. I planted again, and I've got one little one down there germinating, so I might only have 2 fennels this year. These are leeks. Got them planted out late, but I'll get some treats. This next bed is the peppers, and on the end we have the Jimmy Nardellos. Al, you want to come harvest a Jimmy? Look at these. They have just been cranking like crazy. I did put these peppers as one layer in my lasagna yesterday. How about this one? That one looks ready. Can you cut it? All right. Those can go a little bit longer, and so can that one. How about up front here? Yep, this one can, hon. You want to grab that one? Ooh-wee, like it. Oh boy, something's gotten in there. We'll have to cut it and figure that one out. Yikes. This is the Joe's Long Cayenne. As you can see, we've got several good contenders this year. The longest one I got last year was 4 inches. Oop, and we've got one turning. Look at that. Look at all those colors. Yeah. Oop, there's one getting red on the other plant. Neat. The one that I got last year made a delicious cayenne. So we'll see. This one came straight from Jason in England. This plant here, well, there's 2 of them, is the habanada. These turn orange, and they are delicious. They really, really are. So I am a lucky gal here because I am loaded with peppers in there. This is the early jalapenos, which we did last year, and it is also quite loaded with fruit. We like these to go red, and then they will become cowboy candy. This is the one that's struggled all season, but it does have little flower buds happening now. It's still an odd color, but I'm letting it go. We'll see. This is Magyar paprika. I can highly recommend it. I've gotten a few off, and I made paprika from this last year, and it has kind of a natural smoky flavor. Came from botanical interests. The next bed is okra on this side. I've got 3 plants. I mean, look at those blossoms. Is that not just beautiful? And we have okra growing. How cool. Oh, I think that one's big enough to pick. Let me pause and pick. Here it is, our first okra. Ooh. This is jambalaya. Try it. So what'd you think of the okra? Now that I've got your mouth full with it.
Still eating. Very tasty.
crazy. It's a really good garden snack. Yum. And look at, this is that beautiful blossom of the okra. It's in the hibiscus family. Wow. Fun. The last bed has four giant prog celeriac and 2 pimento peppers. I don't have any peppers yet, but there are flowers. So, yeehaw. And these beans are just a mixed package of all kinds of pole beans that were left in my box getting some age on, and I thought I needed to just give them a chance. You can see this one's got a white blossom coming, and that one's got a pink blossom coming. But we've probably had, what, 5 or 6 beans out?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all so far. But now it's cooled just a bit, and I think we'll get more. Now, on the other side of this okra and leeks is the Cushaw squash, and it's dripping down. And Al and I made a cage. I'll insert now about making that cage. So we have been to the big box store, and Alan has cut down the pieces that we need to make a cage for the Cushaw. Okay, first problem with the bottom and then the support in the center was we bought a 3/4 to 3/4, and it didn't slip around that 3/4 inch pipe. It would join it. So Al took a joiner that was 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch from the cage that we use for the blackberries that isn't being used. So, yeehaw. Okay, keeping going. All right, it looks like we're good. I had to cut a few leaves away so I could get back in that corner. And that side's up. Most of this side's up. It's coming together. I hope we have foiled the squirrels, because this is a lot of effort, and it's going to be a real pain in the bucket to get into. But we've left this extra space here so we could step in and hopefully do something when we pull the chicken wire back. And so there's the Cushaw spilling down from that bed and all around on some wood trellises that are held up on bricks to keep them a little cooler. And you can see inside there, the Cushaws are coming on. It's like they grow a couple of inches a day now. There are 6 that we count. This one and this one are the biggest going on so far, and this one's close enough to the wire edge that Al's gonna add another bit of wire in front of that one just for security, because the squirrels will try to scratch at it. We know them. But yeah, we're pleased, and we hope it does the job. This is the Socrates cucumber. It is our favorite. It's an F1. We like it because it muscles through powdery mildew season, and let me put that one down. And it lives through the cucumber beetles, which is a problem for us. And they're delicious. They are just delicious. Now, it's not a pickling cucumber, it's a fresh eater. Where is it at, babe? Oh, right there. It's a fresh eater, not a pickling kind of cucumber. I've tried. They get just too soggy. They don't hold up. I think that one will leave. It's got some more time. But yeah, I mean, you can pick them even larger than this and they're still delicious. They get a little seedier at that point. So this is just my little menagerie of pretty pots, and I've got pepperoncinis, which I have pickled along with some top-notch wax beans. These were some Chester starts of the thornless blackberry. They're doing marvelously in the pot. I've got some leftover potatoes that I potted up in here. They're doing great as well in this little fabric pot. You can come around here, Al. Are those not just the neatest? And then this bed has the sweetie cherry, the chocolate cherry, the mango apricot or apricot mango, and the pink champagne. And the pink champagne was the first one to fruit up. So here's that little sweetie cherry. Got some ready to pick. Those are really nice. Ooh, there's a whole little clump down here. But here's one of those sweetie cherries. Much sweeter than the first few that we took off. So they're getting sweeter as the season's going on. Lovely. These came from Diva in the Dirt. So these are the apricot mangoes, and they are much, much larger than last year's. But they're not ready yet. The one that was close to ready, somebody picked for us and started eating. This is the pink champagne, and the pink champagne was the first to fruit up for us, and it keeps fruiting up, you know, consistently. So if you want to pick and have a tomato last on the counter a little bit longer ripening, pick it right at the elbow. See that little part where it bends and it's a little bulgy? Just put your finger there, and of course it's not going to work nicely. There we go. For camera. Pink champagne. Tasty little tomato. Adds a little bit of a different color because they don't go full on red. They do stay a little on the pink side. So this one's called a patio cucumber. Some kind of a pickler. And it's got all the prickies on there. But they are nice, and I'm going to try some refrigerator pickles with them. So this was on the chocolate cherry, and I thought it was ready, but I turned it upside down and it has some blossom end rot. I don't know. It's not something I normally deal with. It happens though. It happens. It's been a weird year, right? Weird year. Snack that right at the, oh, we got a little, oh, look at that one too. Also has blossom end rot. Bummer. Well, gonna get another dose of CalMag. So these are the potato buckets. We've harvested out the Yukon Gold. The Yukon, which seems to be the one that's going down the fastest. I actually need the soil to put on the other ones, which are showing potatoes that they shouldn't, because we don't want them green. My plan is to harvest these, and I see I've got one going green already right there after I got the foliage off. I'm going to put soil in here to top up the other ones. I'm going to put potatoes here, and then we're going to get this whole tub out of this area so the other ones have more room and we can access them better and make sure we don't have green ones happening. Well, there's the harvest. That'll be nice. That'll keep us going for a bit. And eaten the vast majority of it, and then we taken out the pinto gold, and I'd say around 40% had wireworm. So that's a concern. This is our pinto gold on the end here, and as you can see, this one is really starting to die back. Well, it looks like that one has pretty good treasures there, Al. Oh, that's a pretty good size one right there. These have pretty decent size too. Oh, that one's probably the biggest so far. That's a good size one too. Okay, get back to you when we're done. That was from 4 potatoes that I saved, and I'm going to show you the size. That was the size. I went back and looked at my video. So I turned 4 potatoes that size into that much food. Sir Speedier is the healthiest of the plants, and he has a volunteer ground cherry in here. So, oh, look at the blossom of the ground cherry. It looks like a little itty bitty hibiscus also. Isn't that cool? And there's the little ground cherries in their husks. Sir Speedier is the tomato for the challenge over at Steve Digwell Greenfinger's channel, the single seed potato challenge. I'm going for the largest potato. So this is the new arbor, and it is working out beautifully so far. We're loving it. We did not expect to get any blackberries with that freeze thaw that happened. Actually, the warm up and then freeze that happened this spring, but we did end up getting some fruit. So we made the decision, rather than putting the big net that goes all around everything, we would just net bag the clumps. And I think we have some ready here, so I'll harvest those now. There's our little harvest of blackberries. We'll take it. The sunchokes are doing very well. Never had them before, excited to try those. We were able to take the bunny fencing away now that they're big. The urns are doing well with carrots and mint and a replant of mizuna and arugula, dill, all kinds of things. Just take a break for this beautiful little circle. And these zinnia. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. That's all I have to say. They are lovely. I'm really, really, really happy with how this turned out. So this is our GreenStalk, and we're getting used to it. We had to up our game on fertilization, and it's due for another one. But look at these. This is a tiny Tim, and that is a little Bing, and the other one on here is a Cherry Falls. I also have that in a hanger, and we like all 3 of these tomatoes. Would do all 3 of them again, and they're determinant. But guess what? I see flowers coming back here and there, so I think we are going to get quite a harvest. Now up on top, I've got the cork cucumbers climbing up, and there's some just starting to come now, and that'll go around the circle. There's three of them. I've got celery in here, and rosemary, and mint, and thyme, and leeks, and just a whole lot of food coming out of this GreenStalk. It's pretty amazing now that I've figured out that I have to fertilize more. Harvested out the shallots from here now. I'll insert that video and show you. Well, there are the first few I've picked, kind of varied in size, which is what I like. I love these because they store for a long time. These are the Zabroon. Let me keep going. I am pleased with that. So I started these out from seed and I planted them in a clump in one of the stone beds, and I kept them going until I was able to plant them out in that new bed, the 15-incher, which is where I had space for them. And the raspberries are coming up nicely. They're starting to put on little baby raspberries. The Santiam Sunrise is doing great. You can see the little fruits on there. This is the Werkofi, and it is also doing well. Another potato leaf. I think you can see better from that angle. And the Santiam Sunrise is doing great. This is another Cherokee Carbon, which is really happy and starting to turn, and a Purple Heart Dwarf.
Here too. It doesn't want to come off real easy. I think there's a couple right here
On the other side?
on the other side.
Okay, we'll grab them. It is splitting. Oh, what a beautiful tomato. Lovely. Oh, not a bad little harvest. Now to go in and make some lunch. Well, I am just pleased. Everything has come together so nicely this year, in spite of the fails and the weather and all of that. And I got a lot of work ahead of me. Glad you joined me today. And remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge. That's okay. Bye for now. We'll see ya on the next one.